תה, נראה לי שתה יום. על האפקטים, הקדוש ברוך הוא.
All right, welcome to another vlog, guys. Today we have an incredible location to showcase to you, and that is Masada. Masada is a desert fortress, massive encampment in the heart of the desert where you have storehouses, you have pools of water, you have mikvahs, which are ritual purity baths that were found here. You have a palace, a three-tiered palace that King Herod all built during his time in reign in Judea. In fact, he built up Masada even, according to some of the, according to the historic record, it says that he even came here even before he became the ruler of Judea. He came here with his family, and he was and that's when he already started to fortify this place and to have it as a desert oasis for him and his family to hide. And if you can hear in the backdrop there, you also have the Air Force that likes to fly over Masada, obviously enjoying the view from above of this beautiful location. So it's so cool flying in formation and all that, to see the fighter jets practicing and exercising here in the because a lot of the exercising of the military actually is in our desert, so most of the military kind of trains in this area. So anyhow, pretty cool. All right, let's keep checking it out. So here in the desert, you have this desert oasis, and you might ask the question, how did they get any water here? Well, it turns out there are tens of water cisterns up on Masada, and when it rains, those water cisterns collect up to 40,000 cubes of water. That's a massive amount of water. Plenty for drinking and rinsing and bathing and so on and so forth. In fact, you even have a bathhouse up here with the traditional Roman style of heating up the floor underneath and making it into this really luxurious bathing experience. This place, I'm telling you friends, was high-end, and it's still high-end even for today's standards, actually. Alright guys, so now we are on the western side of the Masada Mount. The Masada is like basically a mesa or plateau topped mountain that is surrounded by a valley all around it, basically, right? So it's an encampment on top of a flat mountaintop where, for anybody who would want to attack here, makes it almost virtually impossible. But the weakest point is the western side of this whole flat top, where the Romans eventually built a battery leading up to the tower on the west, and the entry point that was accessible there. They brought it to the point where they were high enough where they could bring the battering ram that was taller, right? So they didn't have to build the battery right up to the door, so to speak, and knock it over, but a few meters down. And then they had a battering ram that was much taller that could reach the fortification and break through that side. So that right here is in front of me, and so behind me is the rest of Masada from the west side, if you will. And then on the other end here, the northern side, that's where the main fortress is, the main part of the fortress with Herod's living quarters that was pretty that was pretty high-end and really well preserved, and basically the last stand, because there was also a separation. So everything's kind of separated in such a way to where if you were to break through here, which Herod of course understood his weak points, he wasn't a fool, so he basically would block it off, and then he had himself the last stand, so to speak, and that's kind of how everything fell when the Romans wanted to come here and to capture the rebels that rebelled against Rome. So all that happened right here. This was the showdown. This is the place where this all came to a head. And unfortunately, Elazar ben Yair, the leader of the Jewish rebels, and the rest of them, based on what we found in historic record and some findings, we found pieces of clay with names on them. So the assumption was that they basically took they put the names in a pile, and they picked the names out to see who would be the one to be the last one standing, because the brutal decision that was made was to basically commit suicide. We're not going to fall into the hands of the Romans. It's better for us to die than to become slaves under Rome. And he would be the last one who would actually have to take his own life. So that was kind of the decision to make, because again, according to Jewish law, suicide is a pretty big deal. You're really not allowed to do that. But they were so desperate, they were shut down from all sides. The Roman encampment was here all around them. They were here for years, held siege, and once that siege broke, they had to make a decision. And so that was the fall of Masada, and it pretty much remained like that up until today. For hundreds of years, this place was uninhabited. Nobody really came here. Everything kind of was left as was from that final showdown between the Romans and the Jewish rebels, which was pretty crazy. So that's why you could find so many archaeological artifacts here, and really a lot of rich archaeology and history that give us a picture of how they lived back then, what was the reality here, and how did Herod build this place up. So it's really exciting and amazing, and let's go check out where Herod had his palace here now on the north, his living quarters that is just beautiful on the very northern part of Masada. Let's check it out. All right, guys, here we are on the northern side of Masada. This is where the palaces were. Just in front of me is part of the upper palace, and then there's 3 more layers here behind me that you'll see in the footage. Just incredible feat of building, of construction, of beauty, I mean, just incredible, really. So can you imagine living out here in this high level of luxury and beauty and views all around? As you can see, just gorgeous and amazing. So that is the greatness of King Herod in his building abilities. Obviously, he proved himself clearly to be the builder in his time. This is one of the 7 fortresses that were built out into the wilderness for him to hide from, by the way. But it's definitely the most massive out of all of his fortresses that King Herod built. Incredible place, and I hope you guys are enjoying this amazing footage of this amazing place. As you can see, is just gorgeous and beautiful out here in the middle of the Judean Desert.
Wow.
Right now we're in the bathhouse that Herod had built. It's really high-end. You have heated flooring for the water that was in the bathhouse here that would be heated and warmed and nice during the winter months especially. You can imagine. Talk about high-end living on the mountain. That was King Herod for you. All right, so we're done here with Masada. We're gonna take this amazing, wonderful cable cart that's gonna take us all the way down so we don't have to go down the hike trail, which is called the Snake Path. By the way, named after Josephus, who's the one who gave it that nickname, and still till today that's what we call it, is the Snake Path. And you can see it takes the ride here that we'll be taking will take you all the way down from the top of the mountain here all the way down to the visitor center down below. Super awesome and convenient that we don't have to hike up or hike down for those who want to take the easy way. So that's what we have here, and we're wrapping it up here on Masada. So we'll see you guys in the next vlog. I hope you enjoyed this place. Make sure to like, subscribe, share, etc. all of that if you enjoy this vlog, and we will see you next week.